Yo, like, comment, subscribe. Huge show coming up.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored. They did it.
Left, feet left.
What the hell was that? Oh, yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Folks, Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Yo, welcome to the Phlite Zone. We got another edition. We got another week to the show. We got huge sports night tonight. Huge. We got the Phillies going on right now. They're down 2-0. We got the Flyers with about 2 minutes left, tied 2-2 in a must-win game. We got to talk about Ben Simmons. We got to talk about the sweep against the Atlanta Braves, who are supposed to be the powerhouse in the NL East. We ran into a monster tonight in DeGrom. We'll see if we could make something happen in the last 6 outs, but we are honored. Evan and I are honored to have Tom Arnone, No Notes, and DJ from Run It Back Philly on the podcast tonight. What's going on, boys?
Wow, thanks for having me. Honored, that's a big word. I mean, I'm not that special of a person. I really just say things on YouTube.
Yeah.
I can I go ditto on that for myself?
Yeah. We're young bucks. What can we say? We're young bucks. We're very excited tonight. Very excited to have you guys on tonight. We got a lot to talk about. The poll for today is after what the starters showed us in the first weekend of the season against the Atlanta Braves. I said it last week. I'll keep on saying it. My bold prediction was our top 3 starters will be the best starters in the NL East. Nola had a decent game. Wheeler had a phenomenal game, and Eflin lived up to the expectations in start 1. We'll see what would happen. Do you agree or disagree to the poll? But before we get into any Phillies talk, it's time to start talking about Ben Simmons. We all know that I myself, avid Ben Simmons supporter, I defend him through thick and thin. I have opened my eyes a little bit this year and realized when I'm watching a basketball game, when a professional basketball player who is as athletic as he is, who is as fast as he is, who can defend 1 through 5 on the floor, who has showed us more than once now that he can hit a jump shot with people in his face. When you catch the ball at the top of the key, you had to take that jump shot. I will be with everybody on that point. He needs to start taking that wide open jump shot. It doesn't need to be a 3. It needs to be 15 feet away from the rim. That's what it needs to be. Yep. However, I still want to wait until the playoffs. I still want to wait till the games matter. I don't care about a game, game 40 against the Memphis Grizzlies, where your MVP isn't on the floor with you, where that's where you've been playing your best stuff is when your MVP is next to you. It's kind of like a Batman-Robin duo. When you just have Robin, how far can Robin go? And not far, apparently, over the last third of the season. Well, we could say that. Yeah, I want to wait until the games matter.
Scotty, Jimmy, I got to page Scotty Pippen. Somebody page Scotty. Page Scotty.
They won 55 games the year after Jordan left the first time, man.
Yep. And we also got to remember this kid just turned 24 in January. He was 23 years old at the start of this new year. Mm-hmm. Tom said it earlier today. I've been saying it over the past year. Guys don't start winning until they're 27, 28, 29 years old. Joe, he needs to come back healthy. And when he comes back healthy, I got to see what Ben does then. Because when both of them have been healthy this year, Ben's been playing his best game of his career. Joe has been playing his best game of his career. So I want to see and wait until the games matter. First round of the playoffs, second round of the playoffs. Hopefully we make the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep. Well, Jimmy, I think the shot is only the half of it. He needs to be more aggressive, needs to be attacking the rim. The only times I've seen him attack the rim is just weak layups. And Tobias Harris, he needs to start taking notes from Tobias, honestly, because what he's shown me is Tobias is coming to be worth his money where Ben Simmons is not. I was commenting on Instagram, A2D's Instagram. Follow us, by the way. He needs to do something about it. He really does. Because the amount he's getting paid is as much as Dame Lillard and all these premier point guards, and he doesn't have that offensive jolt that we need.
DJ Eastwood, Eric R's are requesting you for your comments on this topic.
The Batman and Robin analogy, Robin would at least try to win and try to take. That's where I'm totally done with this guy. It's the lack of effort that drives me insane. It's disrespectful to the fan. It's actually I've never seen it before. I've never seen a player go out there with this much potential and just say, you know what, they're playing this defense at the top or whatever, and I can't get around them, so I'm done. I'm going to try again next time. I just haven't seen it blows my mind. And that's what really gets me. The jump shot is what it is. If you're never going to shoot, then put your shoulder down and go to the rack. You won't take the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, I was saying the guys' names earlier, and they're all skipping my mind. The guy that was tripping people at Duke, Grayson
Allen.
Grayson Allen. Yeah, I mean, one guy that always sticks in my mind is Chris Chiozza from the Charlotte Hornets. For some reason, he had him in the post and passed it out. It blows my mind. I can't get over it. He's totally terrified of scoring when it matters, and I don't know why. It's a mental issue at this point.
It's a mental break, and I agree. There is something mentally wrong with how he plays the game of basketball on the offensive side of the ball. He feels like he needs to facilitate. He always feels like he needs to make that pass. It's almost like I'm watching the Flyers when Ben Simmons has the ball in his hands. He'll drive. He'll dish it out. The Flyers will have a wide open net right in front of them, just the goalie. They'll make the extra pass. It's what Ben Simmons does every single time. He's going. It's not every single time, but it seems like over the last 11 games where Joe's had the messed up knee, the bruised knee, or whatever it's been. It just seems like he's trying to do not necessarily too much. It's just he's thinking about it too much. I just feel like he needs to stop thinking and just start realizing how much of an athletic freak he is on the floor. And to your point where he'll drive to the rim. He is driving to the rim. It's just he's missing the layups now. I know he had 6 shots the other day or last night, 5 shots, 6 shots. Maybe it's him thinking about it, 6 shots. Maybe it's him thinking about it too much. But before the last 2 games, he was rolling to the rim. He just wasn't converting. And that happens to basketball players sometimes. And maybe that's what's been going on over the past 2 games against 2 lackluster teams. It's just I don't feel like doing this right now. I want to preserve my body for when the games matter. And I know Tom is going to freak out about that comment, but
preserve my body
for when the games matter.
You don't get paid $170 million to be able to preserve your body in the middle of the season.
But you also don't
You're supposed to put your body on the floor every minute you're out there.
But you've seen how fragile these 2 are too. They'll get it. They've been injured every single year since they came into the league, at least one time. So maybe it's a preservation. Maybe he wants to do it when the games matter, not in a game against the Memphis Grizzlies on a back-to-back.
Now I'm paging Allen Iverson now. You know what I mean? Like now I got to pick other guys. This is what somebody brought up in the chat earlier. Well, maybe he's got a lingering injury. I watched the guy here from 1999 up play lingering injuries his entire career essentially after his 3 years in the league from the wear and tear he took just in 3 years. I watched it. I think he played it every night and left it all out there. And guess what? We never won a championship, but the guy's a freaking folk hero here and one of the best NBA players ever to walk through the doors here and maybe top 10 all time of what he did for the game, globally because it's bigger than on the court. But we watch that guy here. We watch that guy play tough every single night. All I ask for is toughness. I never want to watch a goddamn basketball game and wonder, is Ben playing tonight? Am I seeing him? Is he on the court? Because at the end of the day, you can be a great defender and still show up for me. You can be a great distributor and still show up for me. But there is times throughout basketball games when a dude flat out, I forget he's playing. I forget you're playing. And then I really forget you're playing when the last 8 minutes and money time, the reason I'm paying you $180, you disappear every time. unless it's a dunk, unless it's a cute little dunk because Joe's playing. And the last thing I'm going to say, there's never a mouse in the house in the history of Ben Simmons in the post. It's a joke. He could be going against me in the post 6'1.5". All right, maybe if I'm at the combine, I'm 6'2" because the way the combine's going this year. Maybe I'm 6'2", 6'3", and that dude is going to mouse me in the house for 2 seconds, back me down, and give it to somebody else. Everything's hot potato. It's your ball. Who plays basketball like this? Nobody. DJ said it too. Like, I've never seen this ever, and especially from a guy people compared to some of the greatest basketball players of all time. I've heard Magic. I've heard LeBron. Better watch your mouths. Because them two never did this shit. I mean, Magic with AIDS was better than this. Okay, like HIV positive. HIV positive Magic was better. Like positive at the All-Star game was better. And the guy was fatigued out of his mind. So I don't want to hear fatigued. I don't want to hear elevation. I don't want to hear pollen. I don't want to hear nothing. All right? Go show us you want to play basketball. That's my rant.
But Tom,
I wasn't ready for the age.
Me either. I don't know where it came from. Sorry.
Tom,
Tom, Jimmy, come on. You know he's right.
I get the point that he needs to start giving 110% on the offensive side of the ball. And I understand that everybody here does realize the way he facilitates the game, the way he passes the ball, the way he plays defense 1 through 5 on the court. He's a top 3 defender in the league. Possibly was the defensive player of the year candidate until, I don't know, over the last 11 games. Maybe that ruined his rep. Maybe he won't get it now. Who cares? I want a ring. But at the end of the day, it's a game against the Memphis Grizzlies coming off a back-to-back. Like, guys aren't going to give their full 100%. Somebody said in the comments, the whole team looked bad. And I know that gets puts on Ben because he's making $180 million, and we pay him to play basketball, $180 million to play basketball. But he's going to give, I want to say, I pray, and people have been saying in the chat, when has he given his full throttle in a playoff game? He hasn't. He really hasn't. But everybody has to remember, he was 22 years old. He was 23 years old, 21 years old during those first 3 playoff appearances.
But Jimmy, since then, what has he done to make you think he's going to do better in the next playoff? He hasn't developed anything. He's having career lows,
except for the last
line. So I really don't know where you think maybe his defense did get better. His defense, no doubt, but other than that, his offense, it's been okay. Before the free throw percentage went up like 3%, 4%.
Before the COVID break last year, he was playing his best basketball. Was he or was he not? Up until the middle stretch of the season, he was playing his best basketball before the COVID stretch. Yes or no?
The 9 games leading up to the All-Star break, he was averaging almost 21 points a game. You can't even argue that. It's the most obvious thing ever. Leading up to the All-Star break, he was trying to be dominant, and then he just stopped. I can't figure it out.
So he wants to be able to play in the big time Showtime lights, right? He hasn't really had the opportunity to do that in the playoffs because Jimmy Butler was, taking over games.
Why was Jimmy Butler taking over games?
Because he couldn't shoot the ball.
Because Ben Simmons can't take over a game. That's exactly why Jimmy Butler was on the team.
He was 22 years old. What 22-year-old has ever taken over a basketball game?
Right.
In the playoffs.
And now he's 25. So if in the last 3 years he added something to his game that told me he's better than he was when he was 22, I would agree with you. But he's actually worse right now than he was when he was 22. Literally, somebody just posted highlights of him being the youngest player ever with the most triple doubles in a rookie season. All these highlights of his triple doubles, and it made me sad. I don't see any of that from him this year. 27 points, 12 rebounds, 14 assists. I don't see any of that.
With a better offense too, not to mention.
This exact comment is why I am defending Ben Simmons right now. This exact comment right here. Bottom line is Ben is starting to piss this fan base off. Who else pissed our fan base off in a different sport?
This is different though.
And his time is running out here.
Different. We're talking about what did Carson Wentz do to piss off a fan base? He didn't do nothing. He competed. Let's be real.
He did compete. I'm on Carson Wentz's side.
He had a bad year, but I know you are. But you can't compare the two. One guy looks like you don't want to play basketball. One guy looks like
but some nights
shots. You're 6'11". I'm 6'2". Mike Scott jacked more shots. Are we okay? Mike freaking Scott. The Beehive was out. What are we doing? I'll never compare these two. One guy is pissing off a fan base because he looks like, are you you can be dominant. Are you okay? That's the difference. Carson was in a funk.
But he was pissing off the fan base, and that led to his time here out.
No,
Right.
Carson always had it on his shoulder.
Pissing off the fan base by failing, not by not trying. By failing. Carson Wentz, you can't do what Ben Simmons did at the quarterback position. You can't hide. You can't run away and curl up in the pocket. You have the ball in your hands the whole game. He has to try. But what would Ben Simmons do if he was playing quarterback? Where would he go? Where would he run to and hide? What would he do?
This is Lamar Jackson running backwards.
The effort is what Philly fans hate, the lack of effort. Like I said this in a podcast, when they were tanking, we didn't expect them to win at all. There was a game where they lost by 50 points to the San Antonio Spurs, and the Wells Fargo Center was booing everybody. Not because we were like, you guys suck. We knew they sucked. They weren't trying to play the game. It's Philly fans are disrespected by things like that. They're like, bro, I pay money. I bought this jersey. I bought this ticket. I drove here. And you rich asshole
That's how
are showing up, walking up and down the floor, not doing anything.
I feel bad for whoever had tickets the last game. I really do. After watching that shit show,
I would
never want to go to another. I'd never want to spend money on another game after that.
I mean, I wouldn't buy a ticket if Joel was out. So
if it would have got me 1 million subscribers, I would have ran on the floor and slapped him. If I would have known I would get 1 million subs out of it, I would run on the floor and slap him.
Travis Sanheim just saved the Flyers season, scoring in overtime. So go Fly guys. Fly guys just won 3-2. They gained a point advantage against the Bruins. We'll see what the Phillies are doing. They got one out, bottom of the 8th. McCutcheon's up. They're down 2-0.
I want Ben Simmons to succeed, but like I said, man, he hasn't developed, Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how long this can go for, because it's just going to get more and more ridiculous each time.
So a small 11-game slump, which just ended against the Memphis Grizzlies.
That's not true.
Where the whole team didn't show up. The whole team didn't show up.
No. That's not true. It's just not a little 11-game slump. There was an 11-game slump. There was a little cute sample size of like 14 where DJ said he wanted to go off for 20 and act like, oh, I want to be an all-star. Hey, look at me. And then before that, there was a 9-game stretch where he averaged 12 and a half. I'll say it a million times. That dude doesn't have the right not to average 15 plus every night. Walking 15 plus, walk into it. You're too talented not to, and I'm not going to continue to sit back and say it's okay. You're going through slumps again. Slumps. No, the best player in the NBA was out. It's your time to step up and lead your basketball team, and he was below average the whole time. If it wasn't for this bench, we would have never been 7-3 without Joel Embiid. Never. And we'd be smoking Ben right now. I mean, he's getting off easy. He really is getting off easy because we've been winning games.
Yep.
This is not a slump. It's not a slump. It's a 1-2. It's a 1-2. I coach 12-year-olds that have more 1-2 than him. You know why? Because I press them on it. How bad do you want to be great? How bad do you want something? All right? Control what you can control. Control what you can control, and that's you getting better. Not control who you're blocking on Twitter, not control who you're blocking on Instagram, not controlling all the other things that don't matter. Control what you can control. And what I've watched is a guy have zero development and 0-1 to develop. Because why does he have to? Everybody's crowned him, right? He's a star. He's got $180 million. And what else is there to prove in his eyes? Right there's a loser. My other guy had fought Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Right? He's a fucking winner. He's the winner. And he's the alpha male in the doghouse. He's the alpha male.
He's got to stay healthy.
I don't care. Stay healthy. I'll take him playing 45 games over 82, Ben, any day of the week. Any day of the week, I'll deal with him playing every other game than dealing with Ben Simmons playing 82.
But he has to be able to play in the playoffs. He can't get Gastro against the Toronto Raptors.
Right, Tom.
Because if he doesn't get Gastro against Toronto Raptors, this could be a different discussion right now.
Oh, they poisoned his pizza.
About what you said.
It's the Chick-fil-A.
About what you said about what you tell your kids when you're coaching, though, no coach has ever told that to Ben Simmons, because from the time he was 5 years old or whenever the first time he touched the basketball, he was so much bigger and faster and stronger than everybody on the floor. His coaches were like, oh my God, this kid's unreal. This kid's amazing. This kid's going to be in the NBA automatically. He never had to get better. He's so on a different level athletically than 99.9% of human beings on the planet. He walked into the NBA and then he was presented with, hey, this isn't good enough. You got to like learn how to play the game. And he's like, well, fuck that. I don't want to do that. I already got 17 Ferraris and a Kardashian girlfriend, and I'm signed to a new Call of Duty clan that I play every night. I'm good at that. I don't want to be good at basketball anymore.
And who pushes anybody in Australia? Like, let's be real. Like in Australia basketball, like who's pushing guys to be great? Matthew Dellavedova.
Like Brown wasn't clearly.
I might take Joe Ingles right now over Ben Simmons.
I would think about it. Just for like
I thought you were serious for a second. I thought you were serious.
I was not serious at all.
Thought, just for a split second, my eyebrows raised. I was wow. But
he
this is
shoots and he defends. But
this is the second comment about Ben getting traded. Like if we get to the Eastern Conference Finals, Ben's playing the way he's playing right now. We're gonna have these trade talks. Will he get 40? Yeah. Will he get traded?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want him to get traded if we do lose in the Eastern Conference Finals and he's playing the way he is playing, but we take the Nets?
Oh my God, yeah, absolutely.
He hasn't showed any development. That's the biggest thing.
This is where we butt heads, and this is
why
he
scores 11 points per game and they lose in the Eastern Conference Finals. You want to try again next year?
But what if he holds KD to 20? And KD is a little bit inefficient on the offensive side of the ball, and then you have Harden and Kyrie beating you.
At the end of the day, that's still a massive overpay for Draymond Green 2.0. That's still a massive overpay for Andre Iguodala. Like you didn't draft the number one guy to be a good defender. You drafted him because he's a transcendent talent that's supposed to be dominating games.
But those two guys you just brought up, they can't guard guys like Kevin Durant or LeBron James at the level that Ben Simmons can defend those guys. That's my entire point.
They're better offensively, Jimmy.
Andre Iguodala is not better than Ben Simmons offensively.
Here's some good.
Green is not better than Ben Simmons.
When he was his age, he was.
Here's some good simple math. If say KD averages 35 and Ben holds him to 20, right? That's a 15-point difference, okay? But Ben on the other side's only putting up 10. That's not doing too much for me. It's just not.
And that's when your X factor like Tobias Harris needs to step up. And that's when your MVP candidate can't be sitting out games because he's hurt.
See, this is what we're doing. We're putting it, and this is what I'm noticing. We're saying we're putting it on everybody else, though, right? Like it's this guy's got to do this, and this guy's got to do this, and this situation's got to be so perfecto.
Because he's not an offensive player, Tom.
Be so perfect for Ben to shoot a basketball. Got to be so perfect. Everything, the stars got to line up right. It's got to be a Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. I mean, this is amazing. It's amazing. Shoot the goddamn basketball, and we can stop talking about you. I don't like you this much. Just shoot a ball. Shoot a ball. Shoot a basketball.
This is exactly. Marky, we appreciate it, and this is exactly what I'm saying. We got to listen to Marky 215. We're ready to get rid of Ben because of this bad stretch where the whole team played bad. I agree.
All right. Here's a good question. Say you fall in love with a girl, okay, and you think she's what you expect her to be, okay, and you marry her, and she cheats on you 3 times, and you come back again and you say, well, that's just how she is. She's just a cheater. But now I need to change everything I do. Maybe I need to go find out where the guys are. Maybe I need to go to the bar and make sure she doesn't go there so she doesn't cheat on me. Or do you leave her?
Some people do fall into that trap, DJ, and it's hard to get out of it.
Maybe everybody else needs to do everything because Ben, he's not it's not like, oh, this whole everybody needs to change everything because Ben isn't this kind of player. No, he's supposed to be. The biggest thing is he can be. That's the most frustrating part. He can be. He chooses not to be. So now Daryl Morey has to select the type of players on the team because of Ben Simmons' play style. Doc Rivers has to coach a certain way because Ben Simmons won't shoot. The whole Philadelphia basketball world has to mold everything around Ben Simmons' refusal to shoot. It's insane.
No, it's crazy, and nobody wants to trade him, Mark. I stood on the hill saying I didn't want to trade him. So, I mean, I still don't want to trade him. And if we get to an Eastern Conference Final, that was my expectations this year. And in the words of DJ, I'm going to run it back. I'm going to run that back because I'm young and I feel like, all right, I got knocked down there. But now, how much is he going to want it the next year? They get further than that, right? And that's the question mark because I know the other guy wants it. It's proven this year coming in the way he was in shape in terms of Joel and everything else. He wants it. So how bad does Robin want it? How bad? I don't know.
We're going to see come playoff time when the games get important. But games against the Memphis Grizzlies, Some players are just like that. It's a different age. I understand that MJ, all those guys, they wanted it each and every game. Every time they stepped onto that court, they wanted it. But it's not the 90s anymore. It's not the 80s anymore. These guys.
Joel Embiid wants it every night. Every single time he steps on the court, he wants it. Every time the ball's in his hand, he wants it.
As of this year.
No, he's always wanted the basketball. Come on.
So then why was he put out against the Toronto in games against the Toronto Raptors?
It's basketball.
Did you see the defense?
Why has he been out of shape? Why has he been out of shape in previous seasons?
Are you talking about the 0-point game against Toronto?
I'm talking about Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the fact that he has been out of shape in important games. And that has cost us important games.
It's a better offensive efficiency than the guy who was in shape. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
But that's game. That's not Ben's game. What is your game then?
What is your game? What is your game? Your game is that when you have a wide open elbow looks, you look at the rim. That's got to be part of your game.
I'm saying he needs to take that shot. I'm saying he needs to take that shot. I am. But Joel Embiid's game is a combination of Hakeem Olajuwon and Shaq. That's his game. He's good
because
at that.
He worked on it. He learned it. He did everything every day to learn that. He watched the guy and said, I want to do that move. What move does Ben Simmons do that he watched from someone else that he learned and said, I want to learn that move? I don't know a single move that he has.
He's got the fake Kareem sky hook.
Yeah, the spin too. He like spins it. Like a spin, you know what I mean? Like throwing a curveball. Like, what are you throwing a curveball for, bro? Just let that thing come off the hand. Are you right?
That might be the running sky hook. I don't hate the running sky hook as much as I hate the panic turnaround push.
Oh yeah,
like baby hook.
Everything's a panic in the post. Everything.
Yes.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, it really is. Watch it. Just watch it closely. It's like
I watch it. I understand that he is struggling right now. I don't want to give
up. Is anybody on right now?
Yeah, bases loaded.
Bases are loaded. Bryce Harper is up.
Let's get it.
Reese just came up with a base hit. Oh my gosh! If he hits a grand slam right now, they had a pitch and change. What did I say before the show started? We were down 2-0. Tommy told us that DeGrom was out. What did I say? The Mets have been notorious. Their bullpen has been notorious for blowing leads this late in the game.
I've been holding on Ben Simmons real quick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy on TV doesn't have an MVP caliber season, I'll be all up in his ass too. So I'm equal opportunity. I am equal opportunity when it comes to smoking dudes. Now this is 162, so he's going to go through hot and colds, but he's got to be top 5 MVP this year. Starts right here. Wear it. Little toughness. Hey Ben, take nose over Bryce. All right, little toughness in the box.
I can't disagree with you. But I could also disagree with you in saying that there's no trade clause for Bryce. I'm not worried about him.
He hit him. He hit him.
Yep.
2-1.
2-1.
You'll never see a lack of effort from Bryce Harper. You'll never see it.
None. He goes 125% offense, defense, base running. Sometimes the base running comes back to bite him in the butt, but
yeah, when people talk about how much he's being paid and how he's not maybe the number 1 MVP candidate every year, he never stops trying. To me, I mean,
my critical of this is him is never trying. It's he knows better. He knows better when he starts pulling off baseballs. He's smarter than that. He's too smart of a hitter to know what gets him out of slumps, and that's living middle away. And he gets in pool happy mode, right?
He does.
And that's what kills him, and that's why I come flying. Because I know how smart of a hitter he is. He's too smart for month-long droughts, right? Like it's baseball. You're going to You're going to go through ups and downs, ebb and flow.
In there.
JT, look at our 2 big money guys. 2 big money guys, Jimmy.
No. 2 big money guys. The guys that are supposed to lead your team, 1 and 2.
Mets bullpen. It sounded like there was a lot of Mets fans in that stadium too tonight. That kind of pissed me off. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that bothers me.
Philly Talk Podcast, we appreciate it. You have a great point. You really do have a great point. I'm worried that we're going to be getting rid of this guy. That's all I got to say about it.
No, I don't want to go there. I don't ever want to go there. I'm sorry. I want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to him when he's 26, right? He's got like a little bit of time, but
exactly.
But at some point, I got to say, okay, we just got to move on.
But people aren't as patient as you, Tom. That's the only issue. People aren't as patient as you. They don't see that he's only 24 years old, and he still maybe has 1 more year to prove it if he doesn't do it in the playoffs this year. He has one more year next year if we happen to fall apart in these conference finals and he's playing the way he's playing right now. I say he has one more year. It may deteriorate the trade value, but I'm willing to take that gamble. The Phillies are rolling right now.
Who's
right now.
Base, do you know?
I think I'm behind. My stream is behind. I'm bombs up right now.
Watch, guys can't have a catch. Guys just can't have a catch, DJ. That's what we just
Oh, what? It was right in front of him.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, you're streaming it too, Ev?
Let's go.
Yeah.
You guys are probably like, why is he cheering? What's this guy cheering over? I'll wait. I'm sorry. Hate to say it. Hate to see it. Look at this Mets fan.
4-2 Phillies.
Look, I got a big parlay today. It involved the Phillies, Flyers, and Baylor.
I got Baylor too. I forgot that game's even on because I got so Phillied up here.
Yeah, after the Phillies are done, we will turn on the tournament. I forgot to mention that in the beginning. Wow. This is insane. Forgot to mention that in the beginning, but we will put on the tournament as well. Get a little bit of reactions as we talk Phillies, as we talk more Sixers talk.
How did he miss that?
Guys, hit that like, hit that subscribe.
It wasn't a perfect throw, but he should have caught it for sure.
That's why you have to sign the best catcher in baseball because he just does the little things right, unlike that guy.
Not JT.
Jake, I had Baylor with the point.
Oh
no!
I thought he
got it too.
Oh, oh no!
Yeah, I told you, Jake. I told you earlier, Baylor.
I'll take it.
My thing with Ben Simmons is how's he going to get better if he doesn't try to get better? It's not like he's going out here going 2 for 20 and going 0 for 5 from the 3-point line. Well, what is that? What is he doing that's going to make him get better?
There's really nothing. Unless he's perfect from the free throw line, he should at least attempt a shot. If you're going to go hard up to the lane, be aggressive, and you're going to miss your free throws, I guess I'll respect it a little bit more than not taking a shot at all, not looking at the rim.
This is where we're on opposite sides because his game has expanded. And I feel like the lack of offensive production since Joe's been out over the last 11 games, he's in a cold stretch. He has still been going to the rim. He has still been aggressive.
He had 6
field goal attempts in 30-some minutes.
With the exception of the last 2 games. With the exception of the last – but this whole season, the whole season's been a development of – we've said it during the hot stretch that he had. He's been more aggressive. And you could call that the All-Star break all you want. But that just shows you that he wants to be in the big shining lights.
The first time I pissed people off on YouTube was after the Memphis Grizzlies games in the beginning of the season when he put up 2 field goal attempts in 36 minutes and scored 5 points. That was even worse than this one.
He was still recovering from the bubble. He was still recovering from the bubble. He was.
I mean, my goodness gracious.
Week of the season.
Does his people send you notes? Like, no, you are so quick with it, Jimmy. I feel like somebody's in your earpiece.
This is No Note Radio, Tom. No Note Radio. This is all.
He's got an earpiece under there. He's got an earpiece.
I got 2 earpieces.
Let me see.
Tell him it was out of the
AirPods on.
No, it was the bubble. It was out of the bubble. I mean, listen, Lord, I love you. You know this, Lord, and I'm so. That's wrong. Everything is wrong. Like, yes, besides the first year of a real head coach, everything else is wrong. Right, 3% difference in a field and free throws isn't really like transcending to me. That's not like newsworthy. All right, and he's gotten worse at everything offensively. So we have accountability in the house, and then you get worse with everything. None of it makes sense. Like, I'm tired of it being on everybody else. These are grown men. What you do in the all season dictates how you play during the regular season. That's how this works. So the work you want to put in is going to translate to what kind of player you're going to be. It's simple. And I'm not saying Ben doesn't work. I'm just saying that he works at all this stuff, but then when it comes to the games, he doesn't want to do it. So he's stubborn, or it's a mental block, or it's, guess what, I don't care, which I sure as hell hope that's not the case.
And it's funny because he's been showing not last year, but like 2 years ago, you saw him just throwing up threes and playing against homeless people. I don't even know who the hell he's playing, but I honestly, he practiced with that, but he hasn't showed. I mean, he showed it against the Shanghai Tigers, but that's and the Knicks. Come on, man. What are you working on that for if you're not going to use it in a game? Because that's just you're not working on your free throws. If you're not perfect from the free throw line, you should be still practicing those.
Exactly. You can shoot the ball all you want in practice, all you want in pregame, all you want all over the place. You're not going to get better at shooting it in a game without shooting it in a game. You know what I mean? You can watch as many YouTube videos as you want on how to be an electrician. You're not going to learn how to do the damn job until you get an apprenticeship and learn on the job, like learn what happens. Like you can't just sit here and shoot and practice until you're a 40% 3-point shooter. And then you're like, okay, now I'm going to shoot in a game.
Mm-hmm. No, I just saw how wet that jump shot was with hands in his face when it didn't matter.
How did that not piss you off?
This is what it is.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
That's like a great rub and tug you had one day, right? Like a great rub and tug, and you never forget it.
No.
Right? Like, I remember.
This is what I'm saying.
So wet.
This is what I'm saying. It's a more elaborate point. I saw that shot, and I see him at the top of this key. I feel like once the playoffs happen and he gets the ball wide open at the top of the key, second, third pass of the possession, he's going to start turning and looking and making that shot on a consistent basis until they start coming up and guarding him.
So this dude's the biggest troll in NBA basketball history, is what you're telling me. So he's gonna go through the whole regular season and just trolling motherfuckers, and then all of a sudden, I would love it. I mean, I'll be the first one praising you too, Nostradamus, because that would be phenomenal. I mean, I'm all in for it, right? A little playing coy, play coy, boom.
I feel like this coaching staff, this general manager, they're not gonna put up with this when the games matter. They see that he has this shot. And if he doesn't start shooting it, that's when we start getting on him the way the three of you and the rest of the fan base is getting on him. If he doesn't start taking the shot when it matters, because I really, really feel like this coaching staff is a lot different than Brett Brown. They're going to drill it in his head. Ben, you need to take that shot at the top of the key when you're wide open. You have to. We all know that you can shoot the ball.
Doc came out and said that it wasn't concerning to him. So here we go again,
mean nothing,
right? Here we go again. Last year, Brett Brown
man.
said the same exact thing, and look where that got us.
Doc Rivers is a lot more certified to be a head coach and to talk to the media than Brett Brown.
He said the exact same thing Brett Brown said, man.
I'm not even really obsessed with the jump shot anymore. This guy's not even finishing at the rim anymore. He's completely avoiding contact every time he goes to the rim. He's so big. He should look at Grayson Allen and put his shoulder in his chest.
Yeah.
I'd rather 5 offensive fouls in a game than 5 panic passes to Mike Scott.
Oh. I don't even want to talk about him.
You talking about knee surgeries, looking at a rim? You know what I mean? Like, this is my correlation. I don't know why one has to do with the other. Like, I love you, Marky, but what does one have to do with the other? Like, I'm talking about looking at a rim. They're saying, hello, how you doing? Take a peek. Little look-see, little window shopping, right? Everybody's window shop before. Can we window shop at it? Please, just take a look, and then we can build from there. And we can all clap our hands and post all over social media. Look, he looked at the rim from the elbow. You guys believe it? We're one step closer. None of that has anything to do with getting a knee cut up. Anything that has to do with is it a mental block? Like, we thought Fultz was messed up. We were way off base. I mean, we were way off base in terms of the jumper messed up. And Jimmy, you're right. It looks great. And that's where I agree with DJ. That makes me even more mad. Because now it's like, that's that wet, and you're refusing to even look at a rim? What?
Mm-hmm. I'll never forget when LeBron gave him about like 10 feet of space because he knew he wasn't going to shoot. I'll always look back, and I won't forget about that because it's really a nutshell of what he's been his whole career. Or not even his whole career. So
he doesn't even have it naturally to square up and look at the rim. That's the thing. Every basketball player I think I've ever seen catches the ball and turns to the rim and jab steps and is in a triple threat position. I'm going to go left, I'm going to go right, or I'm going to shoot it. That's triple threat, right? Left, right, or shoot. Is that what triple means? I don't know. He just gets the ball and he keeps running horizontal and tries to give it to someone else. He doesn't even look at the rim.
He like runs into him like it's like you know what I mean? Like he can't handle it quick enough. Like it's like a 22 dive. Like I got to get in the belly. Like you're right. Like where there are 6-year-olds literally playing basketball right now in gyms that are learning jab steps and a pump fake. Jab steps and a pump fake. Why do they look at the rim?
Oh,
Did they not do that in Australia? I don't know.
they do. Joe Ingles does it.
I'm just making sure. A little shrimp on the barbie. I want to make sure they're that they're covering the fundamentals of basketball.
Hey, listen, Dellavedova shot the ball the other night, and I wanted to throw up at how ugly his jump shot is, but he still shot the ball.
This is interesting, Shifty. Why did we get rid of Jimmy? They should have taken Simmons instead. Would you have traded Simmons instead of Butler in that sign and trade? I don't know personally. I was a huge Jimmy Butler fan. I wanted us to keep Jimmy Butler. I wanted us to keep Jimmy Butler over Tobias, but it obviously wasn't working out because they chose Brett Brown over Jimmy. So it would have never worked out unless we fired Brett. But Shifty brings in an interesting hypothetical. Jimmy and Joe have an immense amount of chemistry on the court. It's an interesting question. I want to hear your guys' take on this. I'm up in the air.
I think you had to fire Brett Brown first because Jimmy was sitting there in the meetings like, what am I doing here? This guy is a goofball. This guy has no clue what he's even drawing on the board or saying to anybody. I really don't think he had any. So I think Jimmy was like, I'm leaving if they don't get rid of this guy. But Ben Simmons thing, I think, Jimmy would have given it a chance, and Ben being as young as he was. But are you saying would I have traded Ben instead of Jimmy Butler at the time? I don't know. It's tough now.
If Brett was out of the equation at the time,
right now, I want to say yes because Jimmy and Embiid are a better fit together than Simmons and Embiid for me. And Jimmy's a dog, and I'll take a dog over somebody that's scared to look at the rim any day.
Yeah, tough one. I mean, I don't think Jimmy wanted to be a second fiddle to anybody, and I'll stand by that. Right? Like, I don't believe Jimmy Butler was even okay with this being Joel Embiid's team. I think Jimmy Butler loves it being about Jimmy Butler, and I love Jimmy Butler. I say that because I see it. I'm too smart for these guys. All right, I can smell right through these guys. All right, so Jimmy wants to be the star, and that's fine. And that's why he went to Miami, where we all looked at it and said, "What? Where are you going?" And it was a perfect fit for him, and he was able to be the guy. And I think he needs to take 20, 25 shots a night and be that guy. I want that guy being Joel Embiid. So Beans, I've always wanted that guy to be Joel Embiid. I'll say I would have stayed pat with what I had and kept Ben, especially because there's way more upside there. Will we ever get it? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but there's way more upside than what Ben can be at his age and what Jimmy can be at his age. We know what Jimmy is, and DJ Wright, flat out dog. I mean, I love alphas, but I think I don't know if them two alphas would have worked, even though they're boys, because I just think Jimmy has to be the guy. I don't know why.
Yep.
Look,
and it sucks because Ben doesn't want to be the guy. You should want to be the guy on the team at all times. Like I guess Simmons just wasn't raised like that.
Well, the best would have been keeping all four. I mean, because you could have kept all four. In reality, that's run it back, DJ. I mean, that's what we were yelling. At the end of that year, run it back again. Right? We lost in Game 7, the 79 bounces. We want them back. Because I really believe that team only played together for 2.5 months. The fact that they even went that far and took that team to the brink is pretty phenomenal, being that they all really just started playing with each other. So I would have loved to see that team of them 4 guys in a starting lineup run it back for another year. I think that
with a different coach too. With a different,
I would have liked. Yeah. I definitely would have liked to see him run it back too.
Here's another one of those comments. Whether it's trade him or bench him, it's just stirring up controversy. Just stirring up controversy. If he keeps playing like that, this is the issue that I have with the conversation. Because
it's an honest question.
Unless you're the Eagles, you're not benching a guy.
His confidence offensively can't be much lower than it is right now.
So you're going to bring Ben Simmons off the bench now because he's in a cold 11-game stretch and he put up 6 shots against the Memphis Grizzlies in April. But technically, if it was a normal season, it'd be a February game.
And how many shots did he put up against the Denver Nuggets 2 games ago?
6. 7.
All right, so it's
Yeah.
not. You keep saying it's just the Memphis Grizzlies game. No, it's and how many shots they put up against the Timberwolves?
It wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot.
I know we blew them out because they stink and they don't play any defense. All of his points came from wide open dunks because they can't play any defense. So all 3 of those games, he stunk as far as I'm concerned.
But his Batman came back against the Timberwolves. Batman came back against the Timberwolves, and we won. We're winning games, and we're still first in the conference. Right?
Yeah. I mean, no, we're down a half a game right now because the Nets won tonight.
But they ended up winning tonight?
Yeah, they ended up winning.
I don't know. Jesus.
Losses happen. It's the loss I don't care about. I think I people misinterpreted me earlier in a video because this is what idiots do online. They don't listen, right? They don't listen. That's why I yell. People say, "Why you yell, Tom?" Well, because nobody listens. So maybe if I yell, you'll listen. And I said I don't care about the loss. Like, it's the NBA. Like, you're going to lose games. I don't like getting boat raced. I don't like giving up 45 points in the third quarter and act like I don't want to be there. But it's the NBA. It happens. It happens. But my issue is 6 attempts. He's got to be the guy that when legs are tired and etc. He's the young guy still. So he's got to be the guy to say, you know what, this is a game where I take over. That's my issue. I don't care if you went 2 for 20. 2 for 20. No excuse for that last night. No excuse.
Ben doesn't want to play Giannis because Ben doesn't go to the gym, man. He's playing too much Call of Duty, too much free time on his hands in the offseason. He doesn't want to get better. We've seen it. Wow.
He'll post a bunch of Instagram videos, though, shooting the ball from 40 feet. Look what I can do. Look what I can do.
With nobody guarding him, too, most of the time.
Yeah, I'm so over it. It's crazy.
They show the pregame. They show the pregame of him shooting threes, but what do you
he'll shoot the ball in the summer. He'll shoot the ball pregame. He'll shoot the ball when a game's over and there's 1 second left. But it's just when it actually matters in an NBA game, he won't do it.
Yep.
A little stretch of the day where
I'm lost.
Nope. And I kibosh them posts from A2D, this year is there was a rule. I don't care. I don't care if he looks like freaking Jordan. I don't care, in the gym. I do not care. Don't post it. Don't post it because we did it for 3 years and everybody was giving him hand jobs, right? Like 3 years we were all skiing. Like, look at this guy. Look at him. Look at him. Everybody texting me. You see him, Tom? You see him? Yeah, I saw him. I can't wait. It's going to be a great year. I don't know what else we do. We yell and scream about it.
Oh, no.
Phillies are Alvarado is I have an echo. I could hear myself. There we go. Alvarado's up right now. He is throwing the heat right now, but he just gave up a single, and Lindor's up. We're up 5-2, 2 outs, top of the ninth.
See, this is what I'm trying to. I used to be the guy like, just be aggressive. It's okay. I don't care about you shooting the ball. Now I'm gonna add on to this, okay? Because the reason you're not finishing at the rim right now, okay, is because it gets clogged up because nobody's respecting you to shoot a 15-foot elbow jumper. So how you help yourself, right, is attempt that. And now with your athleticism, you're going to be able to get to the rim easier. That is 101 basketball. Closeouts, take it by somebody, right? So everybody says, oh, he just has to play more aggressive. I get that. I'm right on board with that. Okay, but he frees himself up when we're talking about, oh, maybe he's banged up or fatigued. Nobody's too fatigued to shoot a 15-foot wide open elbow jumper. You just did it you just didn't shoot around, like DJ said. You just did it. So, I mean, you don't even have to jump. Nobody's around you. You don't even have to jump. So, I don't understand. Like, yeah, he does need to shoot the ball a little bit, guys. He has to. Like, it doesn't need to be 10 jumpers a game. Doesn't need to be 5. But it needs to be at least 1 or 2. People have to learn to respect it, and it's going to make his whole game in a half-court offense easier. The game will come to him so much simpler. I don't understand this. This isn't the first book ever written about freaking basketball. I mean, somebody Google basketball, the first ever book, and it said, hey, we dribble and we shoot.
And Tom, I have the confidence that he's going to be able to do that. I think
I think shooting was before dribbling. I think they were just shooting a ball into a basket, and then they said, "Hey, we should bounce the ball now."
They weren't even shooting with over.
Shooting was probably out like 100 years before dribbling.
Ben Simmons is built different.
It was like French, like Indiana with Larry Bird. You know what I mean? No pavement, just jumpers. Oh goodness.
And I can answer my own question when I said why can't he play like he played in his rookie year? Because nobody knew how to defend him in his rookie year. Everybody's doing what the Miami Heat did in the playoffs 2-3 years ago when they hey, let's just stand back 15 feet and see what happens. Oh, look, he won't do anything. And now finally every team is doing that. Especially the good defensive teams. The New York Knicks, that game that went into overtime, he had 2 points in the fourth quarter and 0 points in overtime. Teams that play good defense completely shut him down. I don't know what you're seeing that's going to make you think he's going to shoot a ball and score points against good defenses in the playoffs.
Yeah.
This is what I want to look at. I have said this, and I 100% agree with Marky on everything that he's saying. But he needs to take that jump shot to elevate the game, to elevate the team, especially since we didn't add a big name in the trade deadline. We added George Hill.
Where's the set the half-court offense up? Why do people say that? What half-court offense does Ben Simmons set up? He messes up the half-court offense. He makes everybody's job harder because everybody's 20 feet away from him in the paint.
He penetrates and dishes it out to the three. Danny Green leads the league in corner threes because of Ben Simmons, right or wrong.
It's not hard to penetrate when there's nobody close to you. You're not even penetrating. You're just driving up to the defender that's 20 feet away. That's not even penetrating. Penetrating is going past your defender into the lane.
But he does pass his defender and go into the lane. And then he passes it out to Danny Green or Seth Curry.
That's the other. Listen, we need a whole another 2 hours for that one.
But that's what he does. That's the half-court offense, right?
He leads the league in three-pointers assisted, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
If you had the ball in your hands an entire NBA game for 36 minutes and refused to shoot the ball, you would probably lead the league in three-pointers assisted.
Especially as a point guard. So.
But I'm not.
Of course, you're going to lead the league in three-pointers.
I'm not that big. I'm not that aggressive. I'm not that strong, and I can't dribble like he can.
Nah, can he really?
No 7-footer can dribble the way he can.
I don't know about that.
I'm to the point where he's just big and fast. His whole game is right when the ball's tipped, he tries to beat everyone to the rim on the first possession. He does it every game because he tries to get a quick 2 points to pad the stats. The rest of the game is basically if he doesn't get a wide open dunk, he's ineffective. He's just faster than people.
Yep. He gets those 6 points and then he disappears for the rest of the game. That's usually how it happens every single week. Every single game, though. Something's got to happen with him. Oh, no.
I thought so, too.
Oh. Thank you.
My stream went out. I don't know.
I still haven't seen it.
I gotta watch it on my phone now because my stream went out and I can't.
A lot of people are happy right now.
Yep, that's a dub.
As long as Baylor covers, I'm making a lot of money tonight. So thank you. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bryce.
Jeez.
My heart's
it's not the Phillies unless they give us a freaking heart attack, right?
No, yeah.
4-0, Phillies win. Phillies not.
Who was it? Who was it closing?
Alvarado.
He
got the first 2 outs, and then he let 3 straight runners on base, gave up a run. But
you're absolutely right. It's not the Phillies unless they load the bases with 2 outs.
So that's a big win, though. I mean,
it's a huge win.
I mean, I know it's very early in the year. It's extremely early, and I don't ever want to get ahead of myself. But I mean, the way they go and be 4 games like this, and to be able to come back and make a team pay for a mistake. They made the New York Mets pay for a mistake. That's what great baseball teams do. They do. Listen, you're going to make a mistake and take the ground out. Good. We're going to capitalize on you. And that's what we watch tonight. And we watch a bullpen over 4 games get outs. That's huge. It's exciting. And this team hasn't even hit yet like they can. Right. So we're 4-0 and we've gotten there without the way we play baseball all last summer. So it's good. It's extremely good. And to do it against division teams is even more important. That to have these games that you're winning, and now find a way to win 1 more game in this series and take 2 or 3. That's all you got to keep doing. 2 or 3s.
Yep.
And they got some hits on DeGrom too. You know, he wasn't. You know, Reese was 6 inches away from a home run in the first inning.
Yeah,
he was.
He tried expanding the.
He
tried turning it into a triple, ended up getting out, but they came back. The bullpen played phenomenal. Kinsler, Coonrod, Brogdon, Alvarado, 0 runs. The one thing I said before this, Evan knows, the one thing we talked about on this podcast is Matt Moore and Chase Anderson going to be our downfall. Matt Moore couldn't make it out of the 4th inning. Can the bullpen continue to do this with when Matt Moore and Chase Anderson start? Now, I haven't seen Chase Anderson or whoever it's going to be, Vinny or Chase. If I see Vinny start again, I'm going to have a stroke. But can the bullpen keep it up when our bottom 2 starters start? That's going to be the question.
I was excited watching Matt Moore in the beginning of this game. I'm like, okay, this guy's got something here. He's going to be a good number 4. And then it just what inning was it? It all went downhill really, really fast.
Yeah.
Walked 4 batters in 2 innings, or walked 2 in a row, walked 4 in 1 inning.
I hate to bring back Ben Simmons, but this comment is gold. Is Ben Simmons now the most hated athlete in our town now that Carson's gone?
No, I wouldn't say most hated, but most.
There's a microscope under Ben Simmons now. The main microscope is under Ben Simmons.
Yeah, he puts it on himself.
Yeah, he does. Some people believe that Carson put it on himself. It's just, I think it's a 50-50. I think more people see.
It depends what part of Philadelphia you're actually talking about. I wouldn't walk through North Philly with a Ben Simmons jersey on right now.
Agree with that one.
The real hard-nosed, gritty parts of Philly do not mess with Ben Simmons. He's just too soft. People don't like soft.
But that's what makes me upset about his game, though, because when you're a defensive player of the year candidate throughout the whole year, I don't understand how your game could be soft when you could guard the best player on the court at all times and hold them to an unproductive game on the offensive side of the ball. Like, you're not a soft basketball player if you're the best defensive player on the court night in and night out.
All right, mentally soft offensively.
Mentally, maybe.
But the game is played 2 sides, especially for a generational talent. You should be able to play both sides. LeBron did it. They said he was a generational player. Why can't Ben?
His own teammate does it. I mean, his own teammate's a better defender than he is.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pump the brakes on that too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know, Jim, you don't like that. The Alpha Dog's a better defender too, but that's fine. They're right there with each other, which I love. I love it about defense. I do.
Mm-hmm.
Is the defensive player of the year each year the best center, or is it the best defender in the league? Because it seems like it's just been the best center over the past 5-10 years.
Oh, Rudy never gets my vote. So you're talking to the right guy here. I mean, Rudy Gobert never gets my vote. All right, I hate Rudy Gobert, but Joel Embiid would get my vote. Joel Embiid would get my vote because he can cover almost anything. He can switch on freaking guards, essentially. How athletic he is. So I mean, it's not ideal, but he could.
I agree with Ben Simmons with your take on his defense, but I think he's so good at defense because it doesn't take thought and it doesn't take actual any learned skill besides being really quick on his feet. It's all natural talent to me, what he does on defense, and it's amazing. Don't get me wrong. And I like what you say about Rudy Gobert and those guys because they get defensive player awards just because they jump high and block shots. He's actually defending people on the hip, staying in front of them. It's insanely difficult to play defense the way that he does at his size. I'll never, ever say anything about his defense. But, I mean, you're just not giving me anything on the offensive end. You're just not. You know, these guys, it's a set. You can find a great defender in the second round.
Matisse Thybulle. Late first. Who might even be a better defender than him?
Stop, Tom.
Well, I'm just saying, one guy leads the NBA in perimeter block shots. The other guy's name is Ben Simmons. So I don't know. Everybody gives me all these analytics. Everybody comes to me with a million analytics to defend Ben. Here you go, Tom. Here's a million weird analytics to defend them. Things I never heard. like defense efficiency, or within a minute of a substitution, like weird ass shit. Like what did you say? Okay, that sounds awesome. You know what I mean? I go, right? Like the other guy leads the league in perimeter block shots. and plays probably half the minutes. So one guy's 6'11" too. I'm just saying.
Matisse Thybulle is not going to be able to guard Kevin Durant in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay.
And I'm just saying, if the Nets do stay together and this narrative keeps on being driven to the point where Ben Simmons is out of here, who's going to be guarding the Nets next year?
Take this narrative. What narrative? Ain't nobody trying to trade him but idiots right now. Okay, are the only people running him out of town. The rest of us are saying, can you please shoot the ball or do something? Develop. We're in development. You think he's playing?
I said that today on the live stream. Yeah, I said that today on the live stream. I still don't want to trade him. I want him to get his head out of his ass. That's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
But if he doesn't by the end of this year, you want to trade him?
No.
Depends for who. It depends me. It depends for who.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's always, give me somebody 27 or under at the start, and then bye-bye, baby. Bye-bye. Now somebody 30 plus? No. Well, no. Depending on who it is. Like, you know what I mean? Depending on who it is.
Well, we're not going to get Bradley Beal for him. We're not going to get Devin Booker for him. Would you do it for Zach LaVine? Would you do it for Buddy Hield? Because that's probably who it'll be if he continues to play this way.
No, but I'll call Minnesota. I'll call Minnesota up. You better believe I'll call Minnesota up. Because you don't want to shoot the ball here. You don't want to develop an offensive game. Cool. I'll call Minnesota up. Let me see if they're looking to get rid of a guard.
Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, let me just call them up. Let me call them up. I'll ship them to Minnesota. All right, Hollywood. How you like Minnesota, babe?
I don't think we're in that position. I don't think a team's giving up a 19-year-old player that's not afraid to shoot for a 24-year-old that has been afraid to shoot for 4 years.
Very true.
I wouldn't give up Anthony Edwards for him at all right now.
No. I mean, and I wouldn't even have to do this for another full year. I'd have to have another whole full year before I'm yelling, okay,
exactly,
time to trade him.
And that's my point. But a lot of people in this town are going to be talking if we end up losing and he's not playing to the standard that everybody wants to hold him to, even if he can't get to that standard on the offensive side of the ball. We're going to trade him for junk. And it's going to be another waste of a generational talent, because if he ends up panning out somewhere else where we trade him to, we're all going to be kicking each other in the heads.
He's just not gonna start shooting once he goes to another team. It's just going to be some other team's
problem. How do you know he's not going to start shooting in the playoffs this year? How do you know?
Why would he?
How do you know, though? We don't know.
I know for a fact. I'll bet a lot of money.
I'd rather him be shooting right now and then have a good jump shot in the playoffs than him just magically turn one on. There's no way that can happen.
This is what I'm saying. I don't want him. If he continues to play the way he's playing right now, and we get bounced in the playoffs, and we end up trading him for something that he's not worth, I'm going to be pissed off, because we just did it to our quarterback with the football team, right? Because if we do it to our point guard now, that's two generational talents that we're just throwing away for garbage. That's what's going to be happening if he doesn't fix his game.
Well, that makes him not generational.
But you're saying, but Tom, you're saying you'll give him one more year.
I'm giving him one more year because I got some patience in my life, right? Because but I don't have time for this crap again.
Mm.
And then you're going to get nothing for him. And in reality, you should never give up the point guard you drafted. Okay, that's what you should never give up either. I mean, this has been blunder after blunder. So, Markelle Fultz was drafted to help Ben Simmons, not the opposite. And then we ran him out of town. So if you want to talk about run out of town, we don't really run. And in reality, we don't run nobody out. We gave one guy a standing goddamn ovation for shooting a three. Markelle Fultz, and people thought we were critical of the guy. Are you kidding me? 20,000 people standing ovation for shooting a basketball. I've never seen a city that's got a clamor for shooting a basketball more than the city of Philadelphia. It's amazing. I mean, I do go other places and figure out, okay, look, now I can shoot. Markelle has no problem shooting before the injury.
The city's it's like the fan base is like that. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
The fan base is like that because they don't hate players. They just want them to be as good as they can be. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If Ben Simmons shoots a three tomorrow, the arena will go crazy.
Mm-hmm. Back to that Markelle Fultz point. I remember when he injured Embiid and then Tim and Simmons went on that tear. Where is that? Where is that, Jimmy? Explain it. That's your boy. That's your boy.
I've said it last week. I said it this week. He's going through a cold stretch. I said it last week. He needs to take that jump shot at the top of the key. I'm a broken record at this point. I know he needs to take this. I'm just saying I'm confident that he will because I'm confident in the coaching staff. But I'm also going to say,
saying that they're saying it's not a big deal, but it is.
It's not a big deal against the Memphis Grizzlies when you still have 5-6 more weeks left in the regular season. That's what I'm saying.
What's the bet that Ben Simmons won't shoot a 3 for the rest of the season?
I already won a bet saying that Ben Simmons will make a 3. I already made a bet on this show and I won.
I hope I lose it because I want him to shoot.
Evan, you still need to get that Carson Wentz Colts jersey. I heard they're on back order now, so I'm waiting any day now.
Just because of that stupid little Ben 3 at the end of that game, I have to get a Carson Wentz jersey.
I bet Evan that if Ben Simmons were to make a 3 while Joel Embiid was absent, Evan would have to buy a Carson Wentz Colts jersey. If he weren't to shoot or even make a 3, I would have to buy a Jalen Hurts number. It would have been a number 2 jersey, by the way. So I would have been messed up either way because he changed his number to number 1. But I ended up winning the bet because I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Ben Simmons.
I hate him. I hate him.
All right, but when he does shoot a 3, it's usually from the corner off of a catch, right? One thing I've never seen him do is square up off the dribble and shoot from the top of the key. And you have faith that he's going to do that.
No, I have faith that he's going to start taking that mid-range free throw top of the key jump shot when he's wide open. I see it. I see when he gets the ball, third pass of the possession, he catches it. He doesn't look at the rim. I've seen it. And I'm saying he's going to start squaring his feet and shooting that ball. The coaching staff is too good. Sam Cassell is too good. Doc Rivers is too good for them to just let him get away with that.
What are they saying to him every day in practice? Because it's a 5-second sentence.
Well,
Ben, when you're right here, shoot the ball. And then the next day they say, Ben, when you're right here, shoot the ball. And then the next day they say, Ben, just a reminder, when you're right here, shoot the ball.
Well, they must have said it 45 times now then, unless they didn't say it at all.
I mean, for God's sakes, Dwight Howard shoots better than Ben Simmons now. Come on. He'll even shoot a 3. Like, come on. It says a lot when your backup center who's had like 5 threes his whole career or something like that is shooting more than your generational talent point guard who's getting paid max money.
It's just weird. Why would he want to put himself in that position? Why would he want people to be talking about him like this when he could alleviate all of this by just shooting the ball?
It's embarrassing.
That's it.
Embarrassing.
No, it is. It is. You can shut everybody up, or he's doing this all on purpose.
And he just wants to get traded to LA. He'll shoot in LA. Don't worry.
Like, you think he has the ability to be that much of a punk?
No, I think he likes it here in this. I think he likes it with Joe. I think he likes Doc Rivers. I think he likes Daryl Morey. I think he likes this organization. He is 24 years old, just turned 24. We're going to trade him away before he even enters his prime because he failed in the playoffs this year.
No, I don't think that necessarily has to be the case at all.
I know you don't think that, Tom, but other people in the fan base do. People that know what they're talking about when it comes to basketball. People have that opinion, you know?
Well, I think it depends on a lot of things and see how it plays out. But, I mean, I'm not in a rush to get rid of him. But, again, I mean, I don't know how you don't develop. I just can't wrap my head around that unless you just don't care enough to or you're trolling. And then for him to just decide once the postseason hits that he's just going to shoot. I don't know.
I see that.
I'm willing to bet a lot of money on that. A lot of money. Like, I'm willing to put all the chips to the table. All right, all the chips at the table. Deal is showing. I don't know. Deal is showing 14. I'm gonna chip it all. I got a queen showing. I mean, I'm showing 20. We slide them all in the middle.
Mm-hmm. I really wish Ben Simmons didn't make the playoffs. Or not the playoffs, the All-Star team rather. All-Star team rather. I think that would have put a chip on his shoulder. That's something that he really needed. And then, but Tobias Harris would have. I wish he would have made it, and Ben Simmons not make it, because obviously Tobias Harris has showed he's an all-star this year, no doubt about it. And
Ben, keep it up.
Ben's been playing since his rookie year, and even worse. So
I'm just saying.
I don't see the want. I don't see the want from Ben Simmons, and I don't see that changing. Nothing tells me that's randomly going to change. That he's all of a sudden going to say, you know what? Now I want to be better and expand my game. I don't see it. I feel like literally 5 years from now, he's going to be doing exactly what he's doing right now.
Mm-hmm. So he wants to be great later. I'll be great later. Great one.
In Philly, there's no later. It's now or you're getting shit canned. That's what it is here.
What was that comment before? Daryl Morey. I don't think Daryl Morey's a fan of Ben Simmons. Somebody said.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna get on that.
Honestly, I've never heard him talk about Ben Simmons. And well, yeah, I have. But he talks about Joel and Tobias in a little bit of a different light, and says things like, you know what you're getting every night with these guys. They're going to go out and give you everything they have. I don't hear him really say that about Ben. I don't
hear him say that about Ben either, and that's what I'm worried about. Because he wanted to trade him this year. He wanted to trade him for Harden, but the deal wasn't right.
And he said before the season started that it's championship or bust. I think he already looked at everything and said, I'm not sure if these two fit together. I'm going to try this first season, and if it doesn't work, we're going to get the value out of this kid that we can get.
Did Daryl say championship or bust?
Yeah, he did.
He's an idiot.
Wow.
He did say
that. I do also think that we glorify Daryl Morey a little bit too much, because he does pull the trigger to change his rosters in the snap of a thumb.
You're right.
He did it with the Rockets.
Mm-hmm.
3 different times. He did it 3 different times with the Rockets.
Yeah, it actually hurt him, Jimmy, more than it helped him, right?
Exactly. It hurt him. That's what I'm saying.
He traded Capella to go 6'6". You know what I mean? Like, he tried to reinvent the game. Like,
yeah, but that's my whole point.
Yeah, I agree with you, Daryl Morey. I like Daryl a lot. I do think there's a little tiny bit of overrated to him and love affair. What's that?
Come on, Zoom.
Come on.
Focus.
It's there. It says Daryl Morey says, I think we're pretty much championship or bust. January 30th.
Jeez. I mean, I love the expectations. I mean, you got to have expectations like that. He came here, and then I always said this, Jimmy, too. Like, Daryl Morey came here for Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. Like, he came here for these guys. So I don't necessarily think he wants to trade them, because I think he would have just traded them for anything then. You know what I mean? Or is most right now and not waited. But I agree with you. I think he's a little overrated. I think he's a good exec, though. And I think this little trade deadline showed me a lot about him being able to sit still, which is good, which is very, very good, because I was worried about, like, blowing all up and we're trading Joe and everybody's going to be 6'2".
Yeah.
Traded Capella to start Robert Covington at center for like 6 games.
That's what I think he's going to do to this roster. If we don't make it to the finals, I think Ben Simmons will be on the move, whether he plays good or not. I think that's how Daryl Morey is.
You're pushing it, Jimmy. Now you're pushing it. You're anti-move, but you're almost talking into existence now.
I'm not talking it into existence. I've just seen it before in this city, and I've seen it before with Daryl Morey in past cities. And I'm worried about that, because I want Ben to stay.
Well, what's he going to do? I mean, he's either going to right now, if I was a betting man and somebody told me, Tom, in 5 years from now, he's going to be a top 5 player in the league. Right now, I would bet against that. I would bet against it. And that's hard for me to do, because I always believed that he had the ability, and Joel, to both be top 5 guys. So right now, it's hard for me to do, but I bet against that. I haven't seen enough this year for me to bet that. I've seen flashes again to say, like the Denver or the Utah game. Sorry, Denver was outpatient. We were too high up there in Denver. So forget the Denver game. Sorry, I'm talking about Utah. Calm down, everybody. All right, in the Utah game against the defensive player of the year, supposedly, okay, he went for 40 in the paint. So the flashes and then the 6 attempts, that's what mind fucks everybody. I really feel like I'm a pretzel. Like, my mind's a pretzel when I talk about this guy. I'm pretzeled up.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's not, it's not, oh my God, Ben sucked last night. It's Ben wasn't there. Didn't do anything. Go 2 for 20. I don't care. Don't go 1 for 6.
Facts.
Evan will go back and trade for Harden. I don't know about DJ. I know Tom won't. Would you go back in time and trade for Harden?
Yes, because I think that's a championship team with Tobias and Embiid. And then you get, maybe 2, 3, 4 years, you have a run. And then
the Nets don't have him. I feel like that's what a lot of people seem to forget. The Nets don't have him. And you do. Like, who's going to beat that?
Right.
Just Kyrie
and I see the other side because in 4 years, Ben Simmons is 28. And maybe by then, he's dominating. So I definitely see the other side, too.
Mm-hmm.
I would never do that.
I don't trade him for a guy who's an underachiever at 32.
He's a proven loser. He's a proven loser that puts up stats. That's what Harden is.
I can't with the beard. Like every blind squirrel finds a nut and gets over the hump, and that dude never did.
He got cheated. He got cheated out of a Western Conference final.
But just adding that scoring to this team. I mean, I don't care if he never won anything. You're adding a guy that can drop 35 with his eyes closed to this team. And I was the one. I was saying no to this earlier in the season, but I don't even like James Harden. I can't stand him, by the way that he flops, the way that he plays the game. But adding a 35-point scorer to Joel Embiid is a championship, as far as I'm concerned.
And it's a guy who can facilitate and shoot the three, and something Ben Simmons doesn't have. So, and you'd be outscoring teams, and then you have Joel playing the paint, and you have Matisse. So
I just see a lot of Ben hate in the chat. There's a difference between criticizing and hate. This comment is hate.
He's a Celtics fan. He comes in my videos all the time, man. He just comes in to troll.
You might not be wrong.
Come on, Tom.
I mean, he might not be wrong this year. I mean, we're talking about one guy's the definition of consistency this year.
Top 3, he's saying. He's not top 3.
Top 3?
Oh, yeah, he's top 3.
Yeah.
I thought he said
it's an argument for top 2. It's an argument. Tobias is playing out of his mind this year.
Yeah, who would be number 3?
Ben, obviously Ben.
No, I know. I can't. I'm saying with this comment, I'm not saying somebody. I'm not saying Shake Milton's number 3.
Would it be Dwight? Like, come on now.
I mean, that 3 shot's looking pretty nice. I don't know.
Oh God. Yeah, Shake. He said Shake. Come on, man. How are your Celtics doing, bro? How are your Celtics doing?
Danny Green, and he said Danny Green. Danny Green's number 3.
No. Danny Green's been, he's come on over the past month because he didn't want to get traded.
Plays great defense.
He does.
Hitting those corner threes that Ben opens up for him.
Literally any point guard in history could give him the ball to anyone. Run a pick and roll and kick it out to Danny Green. That's all you got to do.
The corner threes Danny's been hitting his whole career. Those.
Yeah.
Patty Mills got him them shots too. By the way.
Hey, Patty Mills is a solid role player for a championship team.
Yeah.
Celtics stink. Man, that feels good. That actually, you know what? All this Ben Simmons talk, the Celtics stink. That makes me feel good.
Some we can all agree on, I think, after this whole thing.
I'm scared to yell at right now.
Hey, who knows? They can go for us again. So
we'll just be playing tomorrow night, and we're tired. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're really worn out. It's really, a fatigued group.
Yeah. I don't know what the smog is in Boston, but I hopefully it's not too bad with Ben Simmons' lung problems. I guess he has.
Yeah, hopefully the oxygen level's pretty good.
Jesus Christ.
Hopefully they stay on the right floor. Like the they have these like wellness purified floors. Hopefully they put them at the hotel.
Need it.
He can't elevate. Just stay on the first floors where oxygen's the best.
We don't want to have to hit a button going up. That means he's got to shoot. It's like shoot the shoot button. Just walk right into your room, first floor. We don't want you to have to hit the elevator up.
He's gonna be falling asleep with a CPAP on.
Jimmy's getting ganged up on here tonight.
It's all right.
It's all right. And I hope you're right. I hope this is the biggest koi job in NBA history. I hope the guy Walking Dead, and all of a sudden he wakes up like, oh, he's human. Jump shots. I would love it.
I have picked up a basketball before. I think he meant to say upper right because Tom's been going against me all night, but said upper left, but he definitely meant upper right.
Don't want to hear crap about a few years from now. His 4th year now. Cut it out. This dude in the upper left. Look, see, people always do that when they debate. They can't have a debate. They always got to say something like that. You never played. You never did this. He's in the NBA and you're not. All this stuff. Like people always do that.
Yeah, and that's fine. I've personally picked up a ball. I think everybody here is shot at some point of their career. So
I was always a shooter, so maybe that's part of my frustration. Like that was always the main part of my game.
I was that was the only part of my game was I was a shooter and I was an offensive rebounder. Like,
let's be fair. I mean, a bunch of white guys in the chat. I mean, what are we there to do? I mean, we're there to shoot the basketball. I did like a good dish. You know what I mean? I love the good dish served cold. Not hot, cold. I mean, I love the good dish and the good no lookers. Everybody does. Everybody looks the flashy no look passes, and I love his vision. I do. I love his vision, especially in transition.
Yep.
All right, but you can make your vision look a lot better by expanding your damn game. And I can't believe I just said it again. I must have said that 45 times just in 2 shows tonight. 2 shows. That might have been said 45 times.
It's true. Can't say it enough because you can keep saying it. He's not going to do it.
He's just not.
I do want to see the Celtics in the playoffs. I do. I really do, Jimmy J.
I don't know.
I ain't begging for him.
Oh, I want them. I want them in the first round, Tom. I just want to get over that hump right now.
Your boy Ben's only scored 1 point.
Well, that's the thing about the Sixers. Ben can, with Joel on the floor, Ben can play the little girl game that he's playing. It doesn't matter. Joel's going to dominate. And who on the Celtics can defend Joel Embiid? I got to give it to Brett Brown and Elton Brand for the collaboration job they did on taking Al Horford away from the Celtics because they've collapsed ever since that happened.
So true.
Very true.
Who did they get now? They got a center, right?
They got Mo Wagner.
They got Mo Wagner, Tristan Thompson.
Thompson.
They still have Tristan Thompson.
I mean,
they were trying to get Andre Drummond, and he went.
Yeah.
There was talks about Vucevic, but the Bulls got Vucevic. Are you guys even going to make it past the play-in rounds? Like, there's a real possibility that might not even happen. I don't know.
My opinion, Celtics have had the same problem for a long time. Just a bunch of ball handling guards and nothing in the middle. And the Sixers have been the opposite for a long time.
Yeah, a lot of guys that play on the post.
Yeah, I would like to avoid them in the first round, though. I mean, I would like to not see them. I mean, because then it's a series where I'll deal with Kemba or Tatum or Jaylen Brown going off for 30 plus a night. Like I could do without them. Yeah, I could do without them, but I mean, I'll go whoop their ass too. So let's go.
Yeah.
But then we're gonna tomorrow night's a little taste. I mean tomorrow night's a little taste because can you have a pulse? Can you have an offensive pulse tomorrow night in like a playoff atmosphere? Because that's what that is. I mean, Boston's fighting for their lives essentially, and you just got your doors blown off. Because I'm all about responses, right? And another thing I tell my kids all the time: all we got is a response stuff. We can't go backwards. If I had a time machine, I'd be the richest guy around. I don't. So what I have is my response to failure, which is all part of life. We've all failed at something. All right. So what's my response going to be to failure? That's the biggest thing you can ever teach any athlete and any team. So what's your response going to be tomorrow night? That's it. And that's all I look for. If you come out and get your doors blown off tomorrow night, it's going to be a long 24 hours for you guys. From you guys. I can just speak for myself and everybody at DJ and everybody else. You guys, everybody that talk Sixers, it would hammer this team if they don't come to play tomorrow night.
Yep. Especially
Smell the blood in the water.
Hopefully Embiid is playing. I didn't really hear anything else from him. I think it was just they didn't want him to play back-to-back, but
yeah,
I really hope he can play.
I'm at the point where if it's Embiid, we're good. If it's not Embiid, we can't. I don't see. I mean, we lose games to everybody without Embiid. We lost games to the Cleveland Cavaliers twice this year. We lost games to the Memphis Grizzlies twice this year. It's Embiid or bust.
And that team smokes you without Embiid. I'm sorry to tell everybody. I mean, they get in transition or they get downhill, and there's nobody at the rim to protect enough. That's the problem, and that's why Memphis is going to expose you too, because they can get to the bucket, and there's nobody to rim protect. I love Dwight, but he's not Joe at this point, right? So, that's what kills you. That's what kills you, and that's how important Joel Embiid is. Protect any rim protector, right? Like any damn good rim protector affects you defensively too. And teams like Boston that like to penetrate as well, they'll give you headaches tomorrow night. They could, but I think he plays. I mean, I think
he's going to play as well.
Yeah, I think any back-to-back he shouldn't play anyway. I don't care.
Yeah.
Everybody gets all up in arms. Like, he's soft. Like, you know what I mean? Guys in groups come flying. Like, not gonna play. Oh my God, here we go. And I'm like, dude, he literally just tore his ACL essentially, and miraculously we had a prayer service here, and it healed. It healed. Like, he was done. I mean, I don't know how he's even walking. All right. And the fact of the matter is, you're gonna clown him when it's an organizational decision. You act like he went there and said, "Yo, guys, yeah." I was on the floor a lot the other night. If you guys missed it, I'm like a dog on a hardwood floor. I'm always on the ground. All right, but I'm gonna need the night off. All right, you guys think that happened? Great guys out there. But
I never hate load management because I think it's like the evolution of the game, right? We're getting smarter. The physicians and the people that study all of this stuff are getting better, and they're like, yo, this guy needs to rest this much to prolong his career this many years, like shit like that. All of those analytics are important. 20, 30 years ago, they didn't know that. They would just drive guys into the ground and they would play for 6 years and not be able to walk year 7 or whatever. You know what I mean? So I don't care. I don't care if Joel Embiid plays 55 games a season and plays for 18 years. I would absolutely love that. I don't think he's going to play for 18, but
couldn't agree more. 2021. I mean, it's great modern medicine. Use it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Facts.
And the fact of the matter is 82 games don't matter. They just don't.
Oh, now we're tying into Jimmy's point. Here we go. Now, that's not playing.
We're coming full circle. We're coming full circle to what I've been trying to say for the past hour and a half. Just saying. The game's evolved.
Load management and choosing
games.
Load management and being on the floor and not giving effort are two different things.
But that's what I'm saying. I think he will give effort in the games that matter.
So Ben load manages himself.
Yes.
Is where we're at.
We've realized that this kid has been just unorthodox, apparent his whole career. It's not out of the realm of possibility that this is all a play for when the games matter in a season like this, where your MVP is playing like an MVP in Joel Embiid, that your sidekick will show up in the playoffs.
If you're right and Ben Simmons is an absolute genius, then I'll take my L.
And it's off film. They will know what hit him in the playoffs. I know I sound crazy, but it's not out of the realm of possibility with what we've seen from Ben Simmons throughout his career.
I told you it'd be the greatest troll job in NBA history, and this team will start blowing teams out. I mean that's just what would happen. So listen, if he does that, I mean, obviously we'll run this tape a million times here. For everybody wants to hear it. Crazier things have happened in this city, but I can't. You're gonna turn the switch on. Good for you. I mean, good for you. Good for you if you can pull that off.
Yeah.
That's not what I see. That's not what I see at all. I see someone that's absolutely terrified to shoot a ball. I don't see this troll job at all.
No, and I watched a kid from Baylor just pull an elbow jumper, and it just like made me go, "Are you kidding me?" Like off a screen. The guy's like, the guy has no impact on a pick and roll. You understand? Like 0 impact. Why would you go with him? All you gotta do is drop off the pick and roll every time, and you defend it, and it becomes it doesn't work.
And what happens if he starts pulling up?
Well, then
the offense just evolves like crazy, and nobody knows how to defend it.
This is what we're talking. This is what we've been saying.
So he's been hustling the league for 4 years, so he can shoot in the playoffs year 4, year 5. What year are we in? I don't know.
This will be playoff number 4, right? Because he got eliminated by the Celtics, got eliminated by the Raptors, got eliminated by the Celtics, and then this year is to be determined. By the way, he didn't play in the playoffs last year because he bum shoulder.
Yeah, I can't keep up with anything after 2020. It messed up everything. I forgot last year's baseball season even happened. Like I forgot there was no March Madness, and then it started, and I was like, wait a minute, I didn't even watch college basketball this year. I don't know what's going on.
Bro, from last March on, ain't even right.
Yeah.
I mean, I sat down so goddamn much. I feel like at least like 4 months out of the whole period when I wasn't working, right? For most of us, right? When we were all stuck in. And I forget, and they're like, wow, how did I miss so many things? And memories are so cool because like you'll have shows come up from like last year and you're like, all right, that was a creative idea with nothing going on. Good job. Right. Like, I mean, we were doing shows every day and it was like talking about, we had no sports on. So I want to take a minute and be grateful that I can be critical of Ben Simmons. Right. I want to take a moment and thank the Lord that I can be critical of a guy that I do love. And I want to explain to people again that you can have it both ways, that you can love a guy and smoke him. Right? All at the same time. That's what makes talking sports fun. It's agree to disagree radio, which means that everybody has an opinion. So either come with an opinion. Don't come with an attack. Like, oh, Jimmy never picked up basketball before. Grow up. I mean,
Exactly.
Everybody has. I think my 6-week-old or 8-week-old, it's going so fast, I don't even know what he is now. My 2-month-old, then that's what that would be called, right? Probably has a better feel for a jumper because we've already talked about it. We've already watched tape and discussed. There's nothing Ben Simmons for me to show you, right? We're going to show you the guy who fights lions and tigers. That's who we're going to show you, all right? Because you want to be an alpha from day one. Be an alpha. Don't you know what I mean? Even if you're not the greatest, right? Daddy wasn't the greatest in every sport, but be a fucking leader. Be a leader. There's ways you can do it. I don't see. So when you're struggling in one aspect, show a little fire then. Get teed up or something. I know you never get calls going to the bucket. You never do. I sit here and defend you for it and say, dude, come on. Give this guy some calls. Right? I mean, come on. That's terrible. Right? And I'll yell and scream about it. All right? So get teed up. That's what we love here. We love a good. Huh? Come on. This is Philly. Know where you're playing. You're not playing in LA. You can get away with things here. Yeah. Get teed up twice.
He doesn't, man. He doesn't.
I feel like it's such a fundamental thing with Ben too, because it's so weird when he shoots. When he does shoot, he shoots like with his right hand and he jumps with his right leg. It's something really weird he does. It's an issue, and I think it should be addressed that no one really talks about. It's just what happened. His rookie year, summer league, he was throwing up jump shots easily, and he just lost it.
I don't think he lost it. I just think he doesn't want to do it. I honestly feel like it's just a want. Like night in and night out. Do you want
to do it? Why the hell is he here?
Because he's a 7-foot freak of nature, and we drafted him number 1 overall. And the best part of his game is defense and facilitating.
So do you think he's really that arrogant
that
the entire fan base and city is screaming, shoot the ball for 4 years, and he's like, you guys are stupid. I'm not doing that.
I think he does have that arrogance to him. I really do.
I do.
Look,
he might.
I worked in a restaurant in AC, in one of the casinos. I served him before. I served his whole group. He was a bit arrogant. He was very arrogant. He's quiet, but he had the quiet arrogance to him, like he does on the court.
What are you telling me this for right now?
Well, I've always said that about him. I heard him say to a reporter, well, I'm an all-star, so. That's not the goal, bro. The goal is not to be an all-star.
He needs to miss a goddamn all-star game. He really does.
And when Philly fans booed him, he said, if you're on that side, stay on that side.
Come on, dude.
Is he a smug?
Side?
He's a little smug, Jimmy? A little smug?
He is a little smug, yes.
But
he was also 22 years old.
Good. I partied with Allen Iverson down in AC. All right. I know the difference in smug and a good time. All right. So I don't like the smug. All right. I was in a high limit room with Allen Iverson way back in the day. All right. And I got nervous and I feel like I started just giving money away because, like, do I take money from him at the blackjack table? How's that work? Right. But turned into a great night. Because I threw a couple bucks away, I feel like. Right. But it turned into a great night. No smugness there. Guy had every right to be smug. That was after MVP talk. That was after MVP season. You had every right to be smug.
It's funny because he's probably the third best on the team. So you can't be smug like that.
Tobias Tobias chimed in.
Yeah, dude, he's
No, we also are just assuming we are assuming that we're just going to make it to these conference finals, and our issue is going to be against the Nets. Do we see any other issues besides the Nets in our process to get there? Whether it's if we're the 1 seed and we go against a team like the Heat, or we're the 2 seed and we go against the Bucks. Are we concerned with the Bucks or the Heat?
I'm concerned with teams that play good defense against Ben Simmons, and what I saw recently is the Bucks and the Knicks. And I know the Knicks aren't anything, that won't blow your doors off offensively, but they can lock up Ben Simmons.
Yeah, they got the vets and the rookie or the younger guys. They got a pretty good mix there. So I think they might get past at least one team.
Yeah, I think the Knicks.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
The Bucks. I don't really know about the Bucks. I mean, you do have Drew Holiday, who's playing great defensively, and you have Giannis, of course. But if Ben plays aggressive against Giannis, then it's a wrap. So,
yeah, fully healthy Joel Embiid and Ben being aggressive and Tobias doing his thing. No, I don't see anybody, and I don't even see the Nets because Joel Embiid's going to score 55 points a game against them.
Agreed.
And it really all comes down to the bench too. If the bench shows up, that's pretty important too. So,
speaking of the bench, what's the George Hill situation? Anybody?
I think he's on an injury, and I think they're just nursing the injury, milking it out, just to make sure he comes back fully healthy. I think that's the plan. I don't know the exact time frame or limit. I'm thinking maybe a week, but when he does come back, I think this bench and this whole rotation is just going to be altered. I think guys like Korkmaz, guys like Mike Scott, they won't be getting as many minutes. I think it'll start going down to Shake, George Hill, Matisse, and Dwight. I think that's going to be the 4 coming off the bench come playoff time. And I think that's a solid bench. I still think we could have added a significant piece to better this roster, especially if Daryl Morey was going for a championship or bust. But that's in the past. I think George Hill was a great pickup.
Yeah, because this whole starting Mike Scott at center thing with Joel Embiid out is insane.
Yeah, he's crazy bad.
There's no way that's where we should be at.
Well, they didn't want to take Dwight. They didn't want to ruin the chemistry with the second unit or whatever. I think that was Doc's excuse.
And he doesn't like Ben and Dwight together. I don't think either.
I think he said that just to hide the fact that Ben and Dwight can't really play together that well. It was just another defensive Ben, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
but
because when they're in and you're getting down to it, that's just hack Ben and hack Dwight the whole game.
Yeah, but Ben's been he's improved on his free throw percentage.
He still has those stretches where he misses 2 in a row, and can't have that.
I didn't realize it was 11:08 p.m. I got to get up out of here.
Time flies when you're having fun.
DJ, you're the man, brother. Everybody go follow, run it back, Philly. Make sure you're following. If you're not, get a clue.
You might love it, you might hate it.
Yeah.
All I can say is, and advice to younger guys doing this: the lovers love it more than the haters hate it. So if you got haters, just keep saying what you mean, 100%, and keep showing love to the people that really support it.
Yes, sir. We appreciate it, DJ. Thank you so much.
You.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming, brother. Appreciate it. That was a ton of fun. The roast of Ben Simmons, boys.
Yeah, it was.
I've yelled too much, so you boys enjoy the rest of your show.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for having me.
All right.
Thank you so much, Tom. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
It's always fun.
Never disagreed for that long. So
It's always fun. It's always fun defending my my older brothers.
listen, you do a good job of it. You do a good job of it. I don't know how Evan deals with it every week, but you do a great job of it.
I don't want to talk about it.
All right, boys.
Thank you.
See you later, Tom.
Jimmy.
Ev, we got about like 25, maybe 30 more minutes, 35 minutes. It was fun. It was fun having Tom and DJ on the show.
Yeah.
It's fun having more people try and put me in my place.
It was 3v1, but you did put up a pretty good fight.
3v1. 3v1. How many people did we have in the chat? It was more like what, 37 on one?
100 to 1.
The hits. I take the hits. And it looks like I'm going to strike good on this parlay. I'm very happy right now. My Flyers came in clutch tonight.
They did.
Baylor's going to cover. And the Phillies won 4-0. It's time to start
What
talking
are we thinking about the Phillies? What are we thinking?
I'm thinking exactly what I thought last week. I said our three guys were going to do what they were going to do in Eflin, Wheeler, Nola. I need Nola to compete. I need Nola to show up during those big games come August, come September, come big series in July, where it may not mean a lot, but those series wins, those 2-1 series wins, those sweeps, they mean a lot, especially if you want to get top 2 in the division. I think he will show up. I think Wheeler's going to pitch like he's a true ace.
Yep.
And I think Eflin is going to have a breakout year.
Okay.
He showed me everything that I thought he would and more 2 days ago.
Yep.
Or yesterday. My only concern.
How do you think our 3 stacks up against all the other teams? That is the question, the poll that we didn't really get to.
Yeah. I will bring up the poll again. Thank you. Because it's just been crazy. It's been crazy.
We start at 9:30 on Mondays.
Yeah.
Me and Jimmy.
So the poll was the Phillies' top 3 starters are better than the rest of the NL East. Agree or disagree? We usually start the show with our agree to disagree poll, but we had Tom and DJ on. We really did appreciate that. We wanted to discuss a little Ben Simmons, and it ended up taking an hour and 40 minutes of me just defending my older brother.
Yep.
I agree. I agree to the poll. I agree to the poll. I truly think that they are better than the NL East. It was my bold prediction last week, and they showed up. They showed up against Fried. They showed up against Morton, and they showed up against Anderson. That's the top 3 of the Braves. They didn't really do much against DeGrom, but they got his pitch. They got his pitch count out or up, and got him out of the game. And the Mets bullpen came in and choked. Exactly what the plan was.
Yeah, it's a tough question. Thank you, Marky.
Yep, we appreciate it, Mark. You had a great insight tonight
as well earlier in the chat. It's really close with the Mets. The Mets do have Syndergaard. They do have DeGrom, and they have a pretty deep team, I guess I'd say, in the pitching rotation. You didn't really see today, but it's definitely better than last year. I think as a whole, the whole rotation for the whole NL East, I think, got a lot better. You can say so is the hitters. I think the hitters are a big consideration when you're talking about rotation and bullpen. So you did have Lindor come over from, where was he, on the Dodgers, something like that?
He was the Indians.
Indians, I meant. Yeah. So you think they're number 1?
Yeah, 100%. I believe in the consistency. The only problem I see with this team is our 4th and 5th starters, because if Matt Moore can't make it out of the 4th inning come July, our bullpen isn't going to be as fresh as they are right now in July.
I agree.
If Chase Anderson can't make it out of the 4th inning come August, our bullpen isn't going to be this fresh. That might be.
Then you have Vinny coming in. Vinny.
And you also got to take into consideration, can Spencer Howard develop in AAA this year? We'll wait and see. If he does, he could come right in and take that 4th and 5th spot. And if you really are in a great position come the trade deadline, you got to fire away. You got to trade a Spencer Howard. You got to trade maybe one of your they don't got much, but if Moniak's still playing really well come or in AAA, because he was playing pretty well in spring training. If Moniak's playing well, you need to throw Moniak, you need to throw Spencer Howard, you need to throw those guys in a package to get a true number 2 pitcher.
I agree. Yeah, I even like a small signing, like maybe Cole Hamels. We talked about the last 2 years. He is 37 after all, but I feel like he would play a decent role if we weren't too pleased with our starting rotation. He could probably be the fourth or fifth, as we said. But I really hope Eflin can stay consistent all year. He's had issues with consistency, but you also did have Gabe Kapler, who wasn't helping that much.
Yeah.
And just a god awful like rotation that didn't help. Yeah. But he's a young guy too. He still has time to develop, and I think the Phillies are off to a great start. And I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Yeah. Both sides.
How do you feel about Girardi's decision making over the first 4 games? I love it.
I think it's great. I don't think we saw the full throttle of him last year, having it being a weird year and playing only 60 games. I think you'll see definitely a big jump in production and jump in better decision making. So I'm really excited. I'm excited. I'm intrigued. And in the beginning of the year, I was kind of like, playoffs rotation doesn't look that great. But now they've got me interested.
Yeah.
So if they can keep this up, I think we have a chance to win the East.
The one thing I am seeing with Girardi this year that I didn't see last year, or I guess it'll be vice versa with what I'm about to say. I don't know the exact wording. I don't know what I'm trying to say right now, but he isn't making analytical decisions. He is making decisions from his gut. He's making decisions from what he truly thinks is right.
I agree.
He took Nola out at the right time on opening day. He took Wheeler out at the right time in the second game, and he took Eflin out at the right time during the third game. Yeah. And he did exactly what he was supposed to do tonight. He knew he had to turn it into a bullpen game tonight because Matt Moore is hot garbage.
Yeah.
We'll see what Chase Anderson is tomorrow, or Vinny Velasquez, whatever one starts. We already know what Vinny is.
Yeah. But I think the rotation is starting to get it together, and I'm really on seeing from was it Alvaro or something like
Alvarado,
that?
Yeah.
Alvarado.
He got the game today.
Hector Nervous yesterday, pulled one out. Still have Robertson, who's I don't know where the hell he's been.
Yeah, you got Kinsler who pitched tonight. You got
who's the other guy, the tall dude?
Brogdon.
You
had Coonrod. You had Kinsler. You have Vinny hasn't even pitched yet, and he's supposed to be your long reliever. That should also tell you something that Matt Moore couldn't make it out of the fourth inning. Joe Girardi didn't go to Velasquez. That's usually the long reliever spot. He didn't go Velasquez. That shows you the trust that Girardi has in Vinny Velasquez, right?
Yep.
So obviously he hasn't really shown Girardi much.
No. Yeah, and I don't know. He's kind of like Eflin. I'd say his consistency isn't where it should be, but I don't think you should necessarily just give up on him. I think he's where he should be, though. I don't think he should be a starter. Yeah, I don't think he should be a starter.
Well, if he was more consistent, then
he's a fringe starter. He's a fringe starter.
Yeah,
that's what he is.
The fifth starter, they probably start 30 games in the season. 35 games, and
if you can have Nola, Wheeler, and Eflin each win about maybe 17 to 20, 22 games, that would be gigantic.
Yeah.
That would be gigantic.
That would be huge. That would honestly be huge. And even if it's a no decision, you need to win the games that they start because you already know you're going to be in the hole once Matt Moore and Chase Anderson come up to the mound.
I feel confident in the higher ups that they'll make a move for somebody if they feel that this year this is a big leap. I feel like they'll make a move. But honestly, if they're on their high horse and they're winning games, I don't want to get too happy because we've seen this last few years where they've literally been up by 10 games in the NL East and still blew it.
Yeah.
So we can get happy, but we can't say, "Oh, this is our year." Hell no. We still have a lot of ways to go.
Robert said it. 4th 4-0 start in franchise history.
So
we haven't done that. We haven't really done that much because we've been a baseball team for over 100 years now.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Who do you think has to step up most out of the whole starting 9? And who do you think is going to be the most surprising?
From what I've seen so far in the first 4 games, I feel like the easy choice is Reese.
Yep.
Especially if he's going to be staying in that 2 hole. But I want to be a little different. I want to say Didi. I don't want Didi to have a disappointing season because we were begging to re-sign Didi because he had a great year during COVID. He had a great year.
Yep.
And I want him to be able to pick that up. And I feel like if he is that power that we have in the middle of the lineup, that could do some real damage. But I feel like the right answer is Rhys Hoskins. If Rhys Hoskins shows up on the offensive side of the ball and gets on base so that Bryce can go up to bat with somebody on base in the first inning, that's going to be huge. Also McCutchen.
Yeah.
You got a lot of guys that really you're depending on.
This is definitely the most stacked offense Phillies team I think I've seen. Maybe the 2018. It's pretty close with them, but
it's on paper, it's a pretty stacked offensive team.
Yeah. And the only issue is with our offense is that we have too many guys who swing for the fences.
Yep.
And not enough contact hitters. The contact hitters are going to be like your JT, your Gene Segura, Andrew McCutchen, but then you have people like Hoskins and Harper that are trying to swing for the fences every time. And I'm so – like I critique him I critique Reese all the time. I was texting you, 1 for 5, 1 for 5. It's kind of he's giving me Ben Simmons vibes right now, but he has been still producing, even though he's been struggling in the long run.
Yeah,
like those RBIs. I'll take an RBI or 2, and still go 1 and 5. But there's a couple clutch moments where he had like bases loaded, and he's been leaving people stranded.
Yeah,
that was an issue the first couple of games.
Yeah. I think the right answer to that question is either McCutchen or Hoskins. Didi is 3rd.
Okay,
because we already know what Bryce and JT are going to give you. We know what Segura is going to give you, and we know what the center fielder is going to give you, whether it's Roman Quinn or Adam Haseley. You already know what all those guys are going to give you, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah,
it's going to come down to those 3 guys: Didi, McCutchen, Hoskins.
And if you're not seeing anything with them, you gotta bring someone up.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna bring up Jetpacks. You're gonna bring up Moniak.
Bring them up, baby.
You're gonna bring up Odubel.
Herrera doesn't sound that bad, but with the team we have right now, it's looking fine. Like
Did you see the defensive play that Haseley had earlier in the game today?
No, I didn't see it. What?
There was a pop fly. McCarthy said it right off the bat. A shallow fly ball to center field. Freaking Haseley backpedals like 10 steps. He's damn near the morning track, and then he realizes that it's a shallow fly ball. And he comes sprinting up, and he misses the ball. It led to a bases loaded jam that Matt Moore couldn't get out of. Like I know Odubel's really not the best defensive center fielder, but I don't think he's that bad. You know?
Yeah. I think he just needs to get. I mean, maybe he got humbled. I don't really know. He had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and we had like issues with him like last year and 2 years ago. But I think he's kind of got humbled, hopefully. But
it's
back to the rotation. I do feel confident. I'm feeling more confident. I think if you have a couple more relievers that you can rely on, hopefully you can see someone like Sir Anthony come back.
Would be nice.
He would be if he came back to form where he was in 2018. That would be great.
Yeah.
Because that's what you have with Alvarado right now. He's basically the same person. So
the tournament, the championship game's not. We didn't miss much during the podcast stuff.
No.
It did not live up to that Final Four game.
Did it not?
It did not. No. It's 84-65 right now with a minute left.
Wow.
Somebody almost just got crossed out of their shoes.
I actually had Gonzaga winning by 5 in my original pick.
Against Baylor?
Yeah, against Baylor.
I don't even remember. I think I had Alabama or something.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously didn't work out.
I was hoping for a Villanova Rutgers final. I actually had another one that had Rutgers and Villanova going all the way through. That would have been pretty nice, but whatever.
This is why you can't have a perfect season leading up to the championship game. There's too much pressure on you.
Yeah.
There's too much pressure on
Patriots happened with the Patriots. Saw what happened there.
I'm just talking about strictly NCAA tournament. They're clearing the benches now. Everybody's going to get their curtain call.
Wow.
Yep. I'm glad that Gonzaga didn't win, though. That dude, Timmy.
With the handlebar mustache?
Yeah, no. His face makes me angry.
Oh,
You know those hate the faces.
oh yeah. Oh,
He's a hate the face.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That was a hell of a podcast, Jimmy.
It really
that was
was.
a hell of a podcast.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. We really do thank DJ for coming from Run It Back Philly, talk with us about Ben Simmons for an hour and 40 minutes. Great night for the Philadelphia sports teams. We finally had a sweep. Somebody said it earlier in the show. Had our first Philly sweep in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Flyers winning in overtime, must win, save the season. Now 3 points back of Boston, and they will run it back again tomorrow. We have a live show on during the Flyers game tomorrow. It's not us. It's the other show that goes. It's in this very ring. Or no, I'm sorry. It's Hockey Happy Hour. It's the hockey. The Hockey Happy Hour show. They will be doing a live podcast or live radio show with the Bruins and the Flyers coming on at 8:30. Okay. So there's another must win. If they lose that game, they're going to be 5 points back. If they win, they'll be 1 point back. Mm-hmm. And then they'll go play the Islanders, and then they play Boston again. So it's a must-win stretch. We'll see if AV can get the boys going. Carter Hart had a great game a couple nights ago in the overtime loss. Moose just had a great game tonight. We'll see if the goalies and the defense can keep it up, and we'll see if the offense can start executing a little bit better. Ed, we're trying. like Ed, what are you getting at? Should I start making a t-shirt?
Not till June 1st. I'll be here in Ohio in the midst of a nice good old pandemic we have here, and it's going to be 100 every day probably. I want to go home. I want to go to a Sixers game. I want to go spend money on a Sixers game and have them lose by 20 and have Ben Simmons not show up. I need one of those. That'll just get me more fired up.
I just can't wait to go to the ballpark, dude.
Yeah.
Can't wait to go.
I miss the Phillies games. Yeah.
All right, boys, tune into Hockey Happy Hour tomorrow night as they do the live stream of the Flyers game. It's been fun. Thank you to Tom. Thank you to DJ from Run It Back Philly. Thank you to everybody, Marky Mark. We had a lot of comments tonight. A lot of people contributing to the conversation. Remember, let's not run Ben Simmons out of town for hot garbage. That's all I got to say. Please, let's not run him out of town. We got this. Once we win against the Celtics, we'll be back in first place, and everything's going to be sunshine and rainbows. We're going to get that first seed. We're going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Hell, we'll make it to the finals, and Ben will show up against LeBron James. So here we go. Thank you, Evan. It's been fun. Peace out.